So the sacroiliac joint, a lot of people don't know what this is, but they've been diagnosed with sacroiliac joint dysfunction. It's actually a issue that is rampant in the fitness industry. A lot of athletes and athletic bodies actually have SI joint problems. So I guess the first question is, what is the SI joint? It is the joint that converges or connects the pelvic bones to the sacrum, the tailbone. And this joint is actually an axis of rotation. It's a place where there's movement that should rotate around that joint. And from postures that we take, from sitting, you see people, I say it's that New York City lazy stance where you're kind of listing off to one leg all the time, to just being overly strong because of repetitive movements. Like for an athlete, if you're swinging a golf club or swinging a tennis racket, very one-sided sports tend to alter the stability of this very important joint, and there's a fine balance between the stiffness of that joint and the elastic properties that it has. So using melt, you can actually learn to rehydrate the tissue both in front and behind the sacroiliac joint to decrease the tendency for it to get stuck, stiff, or hypermobile. So the great thing about melt is it doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you're on, whether you've been diagnosed with your SI joint being too tight or locked, or it's hypermobile. Really, it's part and parcel the same problem, is that the stability of force and form closure, the way that the pelvis holds itself together, is not functioning well. So using melt, you can actually help to rehydrate the tissue around the pelvis, reestablish SI joint stability, and with the melt performance sequences like the lower body sequences, the stability sequences, can really help to reestablish better, deep core stabilization so that the hips have more control, more stability, and you just function without pain. It can be fixed. It happens to a lot of people, but if you're suffering from SI joint pain, the melt lower body compression and lower body length sequences and any of the melt performance sequences are great things to add to your daily life. Each one takes about 10 minutes a day. It can really improve your pain in your pelvis in less than 2 weeks, so it's a great one to add.